Well, hello and welcome to Grapes and Greens. Slightly different location today, right in the middle of Canary Wharf at the wonderful pitch. And I'm delighted to have two gentlemen from both ends of the scale, certainly one from hospitality and one from golf. Firstly, our host today is Matt Hodges, the general manager of Pitch Canary Wharf. Matt, thank you very much indeed for having us.
Happy for you to be here as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And this gentleman to my left, for those of you watching on YouTube, is Steven Carmichael. And Steven and I were trying to work out when the last time we met. And it was probably about 2003 or 2004 at the Links Trophy in St Andrews. And suddenly we've just been chatting for like last 15 minutes, like we've seen as a couple of days ago, which is great. And that's what we're saying about golf. And really, today is all about grapes and greens because we've got hospitality and we've got golf, and really what brings everything together. So delighted that we've been working with Pitch with Wine on Earth since about September, and the opportunity to come and do a podcast where you've got golf from a Trackman perspective, and learning how that integrates with the hospitality from Pitch. So delighted to have you both here. And as always, we start with a glass of wine because that's the most important thing. For those of you who know, Gusbourne is our wine partner. We're delighted to have this amazing brand who have just won the British Airways Brand of the Year for Walpole. So luxury brand of the year, beg your pardon, which is an incredible achievement to have when you think of all of the luxury brands that the UK have. So today we have their still Chardonnay. Their Chardonnay, and from a still perspective, they make very little still. It's mainly fizz. But they are trying to look at how they can grow that for the future. So it's quite an interesting way of doing that. This is a 2023. Probably needs some food with it, but you can drink it on its own. Very typical English Chardonnay, made in Kent. It's called Guinevere after King Arthur's wife. I thought it's quite a nice touch as well. And it's actually made in oak barrels, some new oak and some old oak. So let's have a taste and see what you think.
Sold it to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great smell. Great, kind of that limey look.
It's a crisp one there.
Yeah, nice aftertaste.
Yeah, it's very good. It goes down very easily as well.
Yeah. Great on the terrace, talking about golf. Sun's out. We're just on a slightly different terrace, which is great. This is good. Now, I'm going to turn to you first. Brand new to golf.
Yes, very much so. First role in a golf venue. First, maybe even as a golf fan. Not really been a golf fan before I worked with Pitch either. So it's been a new experience for me learning about the world of golf as well as running a golf venue. Yeah, it's been a lot to learn over.
What attracted you to the role? Did you work in Formula One before?
Correct, yeah. So my previous experience before this was with Formula One. I was running a venue called F1 Arcade, which is similar concepts. It's activity and hospitality merged into one, which this is the same thing. People come here for golf. Some people are huge fans. Some people are here just for a good time. Very similar to F1, you get the die-hard F1 fans showing up with their McLaren t-shirts on. Then you also get the date night shows up and they've never really played F1 before, but they're here for a bit of fun. Very, very similar here. You've got real hardcore golf fans who are here to lower their handicap. They want to learn how to become a golfer. Other people that are here to swing a club and have a little bit of fun. So there's a lot of transferable skills sort of when I took this role. One thing I found though is you get a lot of passion around golf. A lot of passion. So I've had to embrace that passion myself. Yeah, especially with interacting with the members, because the members, they love the game. It's their hobby.
It's theirs, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
this is their home. This is their club. They spend a lot of time here. So yeah, it's been interesting getting to know and see their passion for it.
Yeah,
and then me to try and hopefully enhance it and make it a great place to be.
Yeah, no,
That's interesting to hear that, because I always assumed F1 was your fanatics. And you would get the real passionate people going to Formula One.
I thought that as well. Because F1's very sciencey, very technical. You're talking about engines and speed and gear. And I guess coming into the world of Trackman, there's a hell of a lot of nerdy stuff with the Trackman as well, which, I know essentially what is golf. You're swinging a club and you're hitting a ball.
Yeah.
It's almost the most primitive sport of all time. It's very, very basic sport when you compare it to F1, where there's millions of pounds of equipment and investment. And yeah, I've seen there's a hell of a lot of data, hell of a lot of nerdy information that you can go into and improve your game through it. So yeah, it's been there's a lot of comparisons, a lot of similarities, weirdly. So even though one's race cars and one's leisurely going around a golf course, weirdly similar. Yeah, interesting.
First impressions as well. I mean, we were just talking downstairs and were saying, obviously based here, you're surrounded by big companies. You've got a big event coming in tonight with JP Morgan.
Correct. Yeah. So I got JP Morgan have booked out the entire venue tonight, and I think it's a great example because it's for a Christmas party, and there'll be people in the office. There's 300 guests for that event tonight this evening here. I would go as far to say maybe half of them are not really watched golf, maybe never been into golf. So that's the beauty of this concept, is I can have non-golf fans in here, enjoy the space, enjoy the Trackman as well. And I guess we'll talk about that a little bit later, but the casual side of the Trackman software means it's very approachable. Anyone can come in tonight. They've never swum a club before, but they'll have a great time playing the games, get a bit competitive about it. So that's where the software really can lean like both ways. And I think that's the biggest selling point of this concept is I've got members here who are really fanatical about the data, and also I can have a casual booking in where they're just swinging clubs and having a bit of fun. So yeah, both ends of the spectrum really completely tonight.
Because I look at a lot of your socials, see people drinking wine, which is always good. But you've got a lot of young ladies who come in here as well. And when we did the tasting, I think we had about 10 ladies come in from EY just to do the tasting. And like half of them have played golf, half of them hadn't, but they all want to have a go. And it seems like, going from the socials, you're seeing beginners just as much as, very good players on the socials.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of our, it's a real key driver for us, is establishing those networks. We have JP Morgan's Ladies, which is a huge corporate partnership for us, where we have sessions weekly with them where they'll come in and do like a social. So they'll have a bit of wine, have a lesson, learn some golf. And that, I want to have that with everyone around here. I want to have HSBC ladies. I want to have Barclays ladies. It's such an emerging market. I think the women see so much value in the sport and see it as a career progression potentially as well. Learning how to play golf, it unlocks a few doors for them maybe as they climb that corporate ladder. So they really see the value in coming to a venue like this, putting a bit of time in, learning a sport.
They probably feel more comfortable here as well than on a driving range, which could be quite male orientated or trying to hit it as far as they possibly can. Whereas here, it's much more mixed environment, which they feel probably more comfortable with.
Yeah, very social and very very relaxed as well. We try and make that. There's no intimidation factor. You're coming into a nice venue. It's nicely lit, nice ambience, and it's also quite private. The way we have the bays laid out here. You're not. No one's watching you play. In essence, it's only the team that are walking behind the base. So you're having your own experience, and you can be as good or as bad as you want. It's your own time in the bay to learn and practice.
And it does feel certainly upstairs. I know you changed downstairs a bit more, so it's a bit more a sports bar feel, which I think is great, especially in the summer. I think for the World Cup, but we'll come on to that a wee bit later. But up here, I think one of the first times that I ever heard about pitch, someone described it as the Soho House of golf, indoor golf. Would you say that's what you are trying to do?
Yeah, I would say aesthetically that is what we're on for. It's a members lounge. It's very relaxed, nice decor. I think the beauty of this Canary Wharf venue is I have these amazing views as well. Yeah. So not only are you in a greatly decorated space, you've also got great views, and it looks actually even better at night time. It just looks great now. Night time's even more. So yeah, it's that's where we try and position ourselves. It's a bit more upmarket, nice atmosphere, nice cool vibes. We do a bit of live DJs as well, which is same again. It's quite relaxed, cool, funky, a lot of vinyl. That's that sort of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. And Steven, your first time here?
It's my first time at this one. Yeah, I've been to the one at Soho. This is impressive, isn't it?
Very good.
We know of it and talk about it a lot internally within Trackman, and a lot of customers that are looking for inspiration for indoor centres. That's really the one they come and have a look at.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you're not actually 100% involved in indoor, But obviously, as vice president of range, you probably learn something from what you're doing with these guys, being able to take it outside.
Absolutely.
How did the connection come about between pitch and
the leadership of Trackman were introduced to Chris and Elliot, I think about 3 years ago, and like many relationships, I think they just got on well, and it just developed from there.
Yeah.
And the vision for pitch grew, and it aligned with what Trackman were doing on indoor at the time. Trackman's a very strong aspirational brand, which doesn't do any harm when you're trying to do the best you can do. So yeah, it just developed from there. And you're up to a few venues now, aren't you? I've been to the one in Dublin as well.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we've got Manchester opened very recently. They're about a month old now, and now the franchise model is hopefully kicking off full swing this year. So we're looking to open as many pitches as we can, really, in great locations where we can really focus on membership, balance that with some bay bookings as well. But for us, we just want it to be a real great member experience. That's one of our real key things at pitches. You've got really high quality Trackman software, hardware. You can come here and practice your game, have some fun in a really nice environment.
Absolutely. And it's been a great learning experience for Trackman as well. I spoke to Nikolai, our CEO, yesterday, and he was mentioning that the shuffle golf game, which we've launched, has really been as a result of our relationship.
Oh, really?
The shuffleboards downstairs. Yeah. You mentioned it earlier on about how it's how do you get new golfers into the game? We could spend the whole podcast trying to define a golfer now. It's so complex and convoluted. But how do you get people into it? Turning up at Royal St George's as a beginner, and I don't single them out for special criticism, but any big golf course is very daunting. Reducing the barrier through a golf range with technology is helpful, and then this is a step beyond that.
Yeah.
Even this is I'm here anyway. I'll give it a go. And you never know what you're going to be good at.
Talk about shuffle golf, because that's now part of our guest journey. Is when we're bringing up a bay booking who's very, very new. The first question we ask when someone comes to a bay is, have you played golf before? If you just booked a little hour session, have you played golf before? We'll guide them into the game section as an entry level, as an entry point. And the shuffle golf is our go-to now. We always recommend the shuffle golf game, first of all, as you go to. And then if feeling comfortable on that, let's then head into maybe a scrapyard game, head into playing maybe a par 3 course. So that's sort of our guide as we journey the guests through.
Yeah. Because people don't know anything about golf, do they? I mean, you virtual golf, people, the level of knowledge of a non-golfer is nothing.
Zero.
So they've probably played shuffleboard.
I put it into my experience of skiing. And I remember a few years ago when I was in Dubai, and we decided to go for a holiday in New Zealand, and it was the winter time. We just get out of the heat of summer of Dubai, and we went to New Zealand, and we went to Queenstown, where it's the British ski team were there practicing, And when you feel like, I have no idea where to go, what to do, or anything. We've got two young kids. My wife would never skied before. And it was freezing. But you felt totally out of your depth. And there was no one really to help because they're just so used to doing it. A bit like a golf club where we just go and do this, and this is what we've always done. And I just felt a complete, duck out of water, basically. And thankfully, my 18-month-old at the time was like, this is the first time I've seen snow. I want to go home. It's like freezing. It's like, right, we're going. Just to get out there, because you felt so out of depth, basically. And then that really sort of resonated with me sometimes when I was at St Andrews and that type of thing, where you've got non-golfers, but they've heard of the home of golf and they want to come and play, or beginners, complete beginners. We had the Balgove and wherever, and golf is for everyone, obviously. So how do you get them to not feel like they're duck out of water? And I think these places are fantastic because it's a great starting point, isn't it?
I think that's actually a great conversation because, like, for me, I'm coming from hospitality, and what is hospitality?
Yeah.
Hospitality is making someone feel comfortable. And that doesn't matter if you're in a restaurant, if you're in a bar. I'm sure you've walked into a restaurant. If you don't feel comfortable, if the waiter doesn't make you feel comfortable, maybe the menu is a little bit more higher end, then making the menu feel approachable, making the experience feel approachable, that translates to everything, whether it's a golf venue, whether it's F1 arcade, whether it's a restaurant, a bar. Making the guest feel comfortable that's what hospitality is at its core. We that's what we achieve here, is making the guest feel comfortable with the golf getting them enjoy, because you won't enjoy it, will you? You wouldn't enjoy it if you don't enjoy this.
No. You won't come back. You might not come back here, even just to have a glass of wine. It's like, it's that place that made me feel a bit uncomfortable. And
Exactly.
And I think that learning is so important, because you take me, for example, I've never been a non-golfer.
Yeah.
I grew up playing.
Yeah.
So it's just your experience with the skiing. I would be like that with skiing and was like that with skiing. But to golf, it's just so obvious what you do, but you forget people don't know. And we've pivoted a bit in some of the staff that we take on now. One of our latest recruits is a 23-year-old girl that we poached from a golf range who worked there as a non-golfer, because she's totally different eyes on it. So things that we go, it's obvious. She's like, oh, hold on, that's not obvious. You're saying that because you're a 50-year veteran of going to golf clubs.
That's right.
So it's been really useful. And that feedback, is so important.
That is a good point. I remember we were doing some BBC training for the Open in 2005. And we sort of had to just chat, right? And we were with people from Childlight. They were doing something for the BBC. We were doing it. Right? They said, like, just talk about what you do, and I was, what would I ask the tea times? What's a tea time? Is that when you make a cup of tea or something? And you're like, oh yeah, it's when every 10 minutes there's a time when it's allotted for you to play. Oh, okay. Next, carry on.
No, it's amazing. I mean, we often have conversations now with driving range owners where I'll say, you're not looking for more 35-year-old guys in chinos.
Yeah.
Because they're golfers and they're here already. What you're looking for is Annalise, is a 23-year-old girl who wouldn't wear chinos. And that's what your customer looks like in golf now, in driving ranges and indoor centres. It doesn't look like.
That's made have you seen the massive difference since the pandemic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the golf's had its face in the sun, hasn't it, since then? But the numbers on ranges, and I'm sure indoors exactly the same, are far outstripping what was happening during COVID. People thought that was the pinnacle of it, but it's just pushed on since then. It's been quite incredible.
And how did you get into Trackman? Because when I last saw you, it was playing full time, pretty much. But
I worked full time. Yeah, I played like a full time player. I was decent. I was a decent player, but I stopped playing in 2004 when my kids were born.
Yeah,
I just completely stopped. That's my slight golfing claim to fame, is I have the lowest lapsed handicap ever. I just didn't play at all. In 2004, I've got twins who are now 21, obviously.
Yeah.
But I always worked in finance. Finance was my thing. And then when I think you have a shelf life with that, and I certainly did. I wasn't one of the guys you read about in the Daily Mail making 50 million a year. That wasn't me. So when I stopped that, I was like, what am I going to do? And what I didn't realise, because I never worked in the industry, is it's a global village, isn't it, golf? You know everybody, and I didn't realise that I knew everybody.
Yeah.
So I would go to, and then I started with Trackman through a mutual friend.
Okay.
Hugh Marr introduced me to the guys. Hugh's a golf pro and tour coach, and him and I grew up together. And he introduced me to them, and it was just a good fit, because the range side of the business needs business people more than it needs golf people, and it just kind of went from there. And it's been hugely successful. I mean, the timings.
How long ago was that?
That was 2019.
Okay, so before the pandemic.
Yeah. So the way the moons have aligned has made me look like a hero, but it's not so much just right place, right time.
Yeah, and now vice president of Range. Is that right? And globally, I mean, like you go everywhere?
Not America. I do I'm going to Dubai on Monday, and then I'm in Vietnam before the year end, Philippines, and it's
growing that far.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. It's been a steep learning curve. I was going to say a fast learning curve. There's no such thing as a steep learning curve, that's for sure.
No, that's great. How do pitch and Trackman work together then on a daily basis? Because you look after a lot of software, not just the Trackman software.
From our side, the base, Trackman look after all of our on a service sort of basis, I guess, the way it works. So and in my experience, it's actually been fantastic so far. If I call the Trackman number, I get an answer within 2 minutes normally, and that's at any hour really. I'm not sure actually logistically how you do that. You must have call centers all over there.
We have them in Copenhagen. It's a Danish business, as you likely know. So we have them in Copenhagen, and when Copenhagen closes, Phoenix in Arizona has opened.
Yeah.
So if you're based in Europe, you effectively get 24-hour coverage.
Which, running a hospitality venue where I'm at the mercy of technology, it's extremely important. You know, I've got bookings coming in who are paying multiple hundreds of pounds for a bays. That bay has to work, and it's not their fault the bay doesn't work, you know. So they've shown up for the booking. They're expecting the bay to work. Maybe it's his 30th birthday, and they've waited 3 months to come to pitch. And their dad's a big fan of golf, and they've booked him in for these 3 bays. They walk upstairs, and the IO doesn't work. You know, for me, that's an impossible situation. And the sort of related into hospitality, it's the equivalent of they've come into the restaurant and got no food available. Yeah, this is the experience they're paid for.
So we're more like they've got no wine about. That's probably
which would be a nightmare. So there has to be a solution, and that is my role essentially as general manager. Is I have to make sure the solutions are there. And yeah, the relationship so far has been great. I've never had a situation where I haven't been able to get hold of the Trackman, or we haven't been able to provide a solution on the spot. Obviously, there's a bit of magic involved sometimes around moving people around in bays and things like that. But the hardware for me has been very, very reliable, which coming from a world from F1, a lot of things can go wrong with these machines. And I liked in hospitality, I can go speak to the chef. You know, if the burger's been overcooked, I go speak to the chef. I can't speak to the IO. I can't be like, IO, what are you playing up today? What's going on with you? Yeah, they can't talk back to me. So, yeah,
I'm guessing somebody's probably working on that somewhere in Copenhagen. That's the
soon I'll be able to also IO talk back to me. Yeah, that might come in a few years' time.
Is the whole technology journey is as Matt said, it needs to work.
Yeah,
doesn't it? So the robustness.
The biggest thing is you need to have trust that it will work, and the fact that I can get it to work very quickly if there is a slight glitch. That's the 2 things from an operator.
Yeah, and I guess for yourselves, you got 2 different business avenues. We're business critical. You know, we're running a venue on the reliance of your hardware, whereas someone might have a Trackman set up at home, doesn't work for a few hours. It's not the end of the world for them potentially, but for me, if that bay doesn't work for a few hours, I've maybe lost a couple of £100.
Yeah,
and I've also got a very disgruntled guest. So yeah,
and we recognise that. And I mean, the Trackman business, 22 years old now, so things like the support system and things are very mature. You know, it's a very mature system because even the guy in his garage has paid. You know, it's an expensive bit of kit, it's a luxury item, so they expect good service. And being a family-owned business, it's still very much customer-led. Yeah, that's the way we're. I was going to use the word indoctrinated. That's really not the right one, but
I remember when we were doing the academy at St Andrews. Yeah, we were building that, and we worked really closely with Steve Otto from the RNA. And there were 2 things. This is 2004, 2005. We opened in 2006. So we were looking at different ways of that. But the home of golf, we've got to really put the latest stuff there. And Steve Otto said, "Are you free like on Tuesday?" I was like, "Yeah, come on, let's go. Where are we going?" He said, "Ben Eagles. What are we going to see?" So they're going to see a thing called Trackman. So it's got radar. I was like, "Really?" The only thing I know about radar is shoot down, rockets and things like that. So like, yeah, come have a look. That was the first time I heard about Trackman, which was probably about 2005.
That was very early.
Very, very early. And because of Steve, and obviously
Frederick Dixon worked closely with
exactly.
Steve, yeah.
So we were right at the cutting edge, thankfully, because everything had to really go through the RNA, and obviously Steve is in charge of that. So he worked very closely with us. And that was the first time I've ever heard of Trackman. And then the other one was Sam Patlab as well. Mm-hmm. So we were pretty much the first people ever to take Trackman back in 2000, when we opened in 2006. So I've known about Trackman.
So that would be a big old unit back then with wires and a trolley.
Well, I saw it Dornick last week. Yeah. Very nice little units stuck in the ceiling of this beautiful, simulator pad, basically, in the pro shop. So it's all gone into something that looks like lifestyle. This is, again, Grapes&Greens is about lifestyle. And this is a perfect example of bringing golf and hospitality to really then develop lifestyle conversations. And you feel like, wow, how do I get that into my house? If you've got the money to be able to do it, that's what I want to do. So for you to be able to it's almost like Formula One. They practice on their cars to get faster and faster, but they're the things that happen on the road 3 or 4 years later. I'm guessing that's probably a good analogy.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. it's been a very aspirated. One thing I realised, that my golf career kind of ended when Trackman began, so I wasn't.
Yeah.
I knew it, of course,
Yeah.
but I didn't play, so I didn't practice with it and things. But the thing that's really surprised me pleasantly about it is how aspirational a brand it is.
Yeah.
You know, if I take a Trackman with me to travel, people will come and speak to me at airports.
Yeah.
They want to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
I assume because they think you're either a very good golfer or you're very rich, or either of those things they want to engage with. But it's been a real eye-opener to me how cool it is.
Yeah. Well, they've seen, if you're a golfer, they've seen it on the television, on the range, all the best players in the world play with it.
Yeah.
And that's where it's cool that, you know, beginners are just like now taking it for granted. Oh, Trackman. You know, and they've seen it. So when they develop from going indoors to outdoors, they kind of that expectation of, oh, I've got Trackman. I'm okay. I can do it. So I think it's very clever.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely my perception as a new person coming in, most of my interaction with people, they know the brand. They know Trackman. It's very, very identifiable. It's got a good brand reputation, good brand image. Yeah, you've really cemented yourself, I would say, in terms of in this space, because it's so identifiable.
I mean, I think making it orange has been, although the IOs get a little bit of orange, but the Trackman 4 is so recognisable. That was, I don't know if you know the backstory to it, I'll just tell you very quickly. So when Klaus and Frederick started it, Klaus had a friend who was a designer for Bang & Olufsen.
Okay.
It's a Danish stereo business, you know, and his parting gift to them was, you need to make it orange. The reason being, on a colour chart, the most contrasting colours are yellow and black, and the next ones are green and orange. And because golf courses are green, it was, this will stand out, and you will own the colour orange. And it's exactly what's happened. Everything that is orange now, people assume and associate with Trackman.
Nice.
So, it's been cleverer men than me.
Yeah. And how are you? Is there lots of things in the pipeline? Are you seeing that? I suppose that's what happens with custom. It was for both. From a pitch perspective, they go, okay, what next kind of thing? I've seen it. I want to take it to the next level. Then they come to you and go, okay, they want something new. You know, how does that conversation happen? Especially from a range perspective, I'm thinking, because you've got really good players, you know, from tour players wanting to use it, to really good amateurs, to juniors who like trying to get us, but with parents going, okay, I want this to be really good and I'm paying the money. So where you say, where's the next level of where I can...
The answer to that is I don't know. It's above my pay grade to know that. But what I do know is when you go to the Trackman Innovation Centre, there's big locked off areas where there's stuff going on. So, you know, for a golf,
AI isn't part of that as well, would it?
Yeah, I mean, the AI was an interesting one because I'm not a techie guy. So AI to me is brand new. To Trackman, it's not really brand new.
Okay.
You know, it's something that's been in the tech world for a reasonable amount of time. Obviously, it gets better and we exploit it more, but it wasn't new news 18 months ago in the Innovation Centre, that's for sure.
And of course, you got more and more golf courses being built now, but since the pandemic. And I guess, are you getting people saying, I want this specific course, or we're going to have the US Open on this course? Can we do an event around it?
Absolutely. I think more type of the larger thing, like stuff like, you know, if the Ryder Cup's on, if the Masters is on, it's almost an expectation, I guess, that we have to have that course available.
Yeah.
So it sort of ties in with the calendar. You know, if something big's going on, we need to offer that course. 100%.
Yeah.
Just to go back to that thing with the innovation, I think as a hospitality venue, that innovation is even more important because that's the reasons for the guests to return. You know, you would come, you'd play the shuffle golf, had a great time, really enjoyed it, but why would you come back? So having that constant innovation, you know, if they'd come back, maybe they come back next year. There's now new games, there's now new software. I think one thing I'm looking forward to is going into a world where the bays can talk to each other and the bays can play against each other as well. I think that's probably the next step that we're looking for here at Pitches, to be able to tee off here and play against someone in the pitch in Manchester at the same time, and then they're playing with someone who's in the Dubai pitch at the same time. So having that, which I'm sure it sounds like a faraway idea, but
I don't think it is. I mean, I think it will be sooner than that because you can play ghost rounds and things just now. You know, I can play in pitch and I can play against you at a different time and stuff.
So that will be the next chapter, is playing with your mate who's got his Trackman at home. You're at the pitch in Soho. You play a round of golf together. So I think, and that's what golf is. Golf is bringing people together. So that next chapter will be linking people together. You're playing virtually. Maybe you're it's a January day and it's raining outside, but you still want to play golf with your mate on a Saturday, we'll do it through Trackman, and then we'll do it. We'll go to the pitch.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we can do that. We need to speak to your customer success guy and get them to give you a call, because I know the online play where
maybe all the
And you have done, weren't they looking at sort of the league for London League and things like that? When we were up, I was listening to that going, how does that work?
Yeah. So that's another thing is for us is the member experience, and giving them a reason to come in on a Monday, Tuesday night, whether that's a league or some sort of competition. And as the pitch brand grows, linking all those pitches together. So maybe you play for the Pitch Canary Wharf, you're in the Pitch Canary Wharf team, and then you're playing against the Soho team, and really getting that competitive spirit up, because that's what keeps you engaged, that's what keeps you coming back, and you want to improve, and all those things, it all links together. And for us as a venue, we then get that extra F&B spend on a Monday night, because I've got a group of 20 blokes that always come on a Monday because they're really invested into the London Golf League, and it's those things for us are huge drivers. Yeah, absolutely.
That community thing's so important, isn't it? We spoke before about Trackman have just appointed their first ever non-family member to the board, and it was the co-founder, or is the co-founder of Strava, Michael. So that community ends. We think we have a lot of monthly users, but compared to Strava, we're a wee guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. You're talking about, a dark Monday evening. That's where I saw pitch was obviously this is going to be great, because from a wide and earth perspective, where, the golf clubs are slightly, falling down or getting quieter, pitch will be great for the winter. But how do you continue getting people in on a Monday night on a beautiful summer's evening in July, for example? What are your thoughts about that?
I think, and that's for us as a brand and as a guest experience to really take ownership of that. So right now my membership's growing. I think I'm gaining about 10 members, between 10 members a week maybe at the moment at Canary Wharf, which is obviously fantastic. My job now will be to keep those members here, give them a reason to stay as a member all summer long. When the weather picks up and they want to get back on the course, actually, I have a great time at pitch. I'm going to keep my membership there. Maybe I play a little bit less. And I really enjoy the Monday league. I'm still going to go to the Monday night league because I'm invested now. I go with a couple of blokes who've made friends in the league. I've made friends with a few members. So that for me that's how we keep them, We've sort of, the weather in this country here, play golf a certain amount of time a year. So we'll naturally gain members during the winter. And then it's my job to make sure if this is a great venue, they have great service, there's great drinks available, there's great wine available. Of course, I'm going to stay here and be a member all summer because I see good value in it. So yeah, that's my job in a sense, I guess. It's up to me.
One of the things would be really interesting, I think, is that historically, driving ranges in the summer have just dropped off a cliff when there's been a World Cup or a Euro Championships or whatever. Because you've got the sports bar here, and the number of people that are close to your proximity, being able to come here, watch football, but actually half time go and have a, whatever. Or I was like, not a great game because it's no disrespect, but Albania versus Portugal. Let's go and have a game up there. That's like,
it'll be an interesting chapter for us here next year for that, because it'll be me balancing the venue, and we don't want to lose identity as a golf members club. Like, this is a place where you can come and have a nice, relaxing round of golf with your friend, and you come and have a nice experience. And then also making sure people see this as a venue where you can watch live sports. And the beauty of these bays is they're so dynamic. I have a huge screen and a projector, essentially. I can show a Champions League game in that. I can show a World Cup game in that. It's a great space to utilize for, whatever event is going on around the world. But obviously our primary thing is golf. Golf is the present. Golf would always override another sport. But yeah. And usually people that love golf also love sport. So, they want to watch the football. They're going to want to watch the rugby. Things like that.
Was that busy? Are you seeing it busy at weekends as well, or is it mainly still kind of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays that you main days because of where you are?
Yeah, Tuesday. I would say my membership is about half residents, half workers. And I think that's a story of Canary Wharf. That Canary Wharf is a change in space. It used to be completely people just worked in Canary Wharf. No one lived here. Yeah. This area has changed dramatically over the last few years. Probably it's more actually post-COVID, really. I think. Yeah. There's so much more residential here now. And for the residents of Canary Wharf, this is a concrete jungle here. So this is their space here to come play golf. The nearest thing would be to drive or get the tube many, many miles out of London to go play a course. So I'm giving them a virtual golf experience in the middle of, well, essentially this is like New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is. It feels like it.
Yeah.
And to both of you, really, your brands are now becoming, certainly Pitch is becoming well known. Trackman is really well known in that space. But what do you think? I'll probably go to you, Stephen, first. Is what's your USP? Obviously orange is the color that stands out, but there's a lot of other good software options out there. Why do you think you're leading, certainly from a range perspective, what do you feel that you give that others maybe can't, or why are you being so successful?
Yeah, the feedback I get on that is both the brand and the service levels.
Okay.
The service levels, when you're buying technology, you do need it to work. As Matt said earlier on, somebody's coming here, they're paying to use the technology. It needs to work. Same on range. We have an extremely robust range product from a tracking perspective. But also Matt struck on it earlier on. We've managed to walk that line between good golfers trusting it and being able to stand in Bay 2 and practice for the club championship, and somebody in Bay 3 to be collecting monsters in a Magic Pond game.
Yeah.
And those things can cohabit.
Yeah.
A driving range or an indoor centre. And that's the one thing we've managed to crack quite well.
I've got a great story for that, actually. I had a group of blokes to come in quite regularly. They all play a course together. Then after this, they're about 5 pints deep each. They've just finished the course. And then they load up Dinosaur Park afterwards. So they've just had quite a competitive game of golf together. And then I walk past them you're on the Dino Park, boys. It's this is a timeless game. I've got 3 middle-aged men shooting golf balls at dinosaurs. And it's
Really?
and it's just a funny experience. They're quite serious golfers. They're all playing off a decent handicap, but let's play the Dino Park. Let's have a bit of fun.
Anything competitive, isn't it?
Exactly.
The scrapyard one, folk like blowing stuff up.
Yeah.
So I'll blow this car up and they like that.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
It's great.
So yeah, it translates. It's not just for kids. We sort of guide that with the guests as well, because the graphics of it is quite kiddie in a way. It's very soft graphics, but it's a fun game. It brings out the kid in you.
But that's when we were growing up. We'd always try and do something different. It does improve the skills, though, doesn't it?
Well, it was normally try and kill the person collecting the balls, wasn't it? Which is still the number one thing to do in rangeland. That's for sure.
Get the range back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But Matt, for you, USP. I mean, there's others. We talked about it before we came on air. So, you've got other people coming into the market. What's your USP, and how you're growing? It's Chris's job to go and grow that globally, which is really exciting. It's probably for you as an employee very exciting to have the opportunities to grow with the brand as well. So, what is the USP, and what do people see? Because you've got very different markets. You've got non-golfers, you've got golfers, but then you've also got corporates, as we say today. So everything is money to you. So how do you then break up your time, as you say? And what is your USP in order to attract those 3 different levels?
I think our USP is the aesthetic of the venue for sure. How these pitch venues look and feel is really, really important. We never want to move away from that, I don't believe. And for us, it's the member experience. The membership of these clubs that's the foundation. If each pitch has a good base of members that feel looked after, that enjoy their time here, then that will naturally grow over time. And that is the bread and butter of this business, is having a real core group of members that have a great time in pitch. And the bay bookings will come when people come and they get into the sport, hopefully also becoming members as well. We'd like to think that a good percentage of our bay bookings we can try and convert to members in time. And if they book in a few times, the value for money instantly becomes what George, why not become a member? You think 3 times this week. There's a lot of value in becoming a member. You can come unlimited or in off-peak time. Do you work locally? Come on your lunch. I have a hell of a lot of people that have very long lunch breaks in Canary Wharf, I've discovered. Yeah, it's been quite shocking how much lunch time so many people have. I've seen a few laptops getting when your team flags you as away. It's 3 shots and then a quick little back again.
You've managed to crack that kind of cool thing, though, haven't you?
Yeah,
which is, how do you do that? I don't know.
Very put earlier, people that are paid more than me.
Yeah, but it's so important, isn't it? And I noticed there was a third space gym. That's the cool gym just now, isn't it? And there's a lot of
cool. It's got to be, but you've got to keep refreshing that, because as you said, when you're used to something, you just want to know how can it be better. How can it be better? How can it be better? And the pressure comes on you guys to deliver that as well, because everything has a finite period of time, really. Which again is exciting for you guys to take it to the next level. And it's always about listening to customers and understanding what they want. One of the things, from an international perspective as well, is that, you mentioned you were going to Cambodia and Vietnam and Dubai and wherever. Spoke to DJ Flanders from True.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're working quite a lot with as well.
They work in the States.
True,
True, quite a lot, yeah.
So, different cultures, but and different things that you can learn what they're looking for as well. Certainly how they play from a Trackman perspective must be interesting.
Totally different. You compare our Japanese range business to our European range business to our American range. Totally different. Japanese people hit the ball 30% faster than we do in the UK. They don't care if they hit good shots. They just want to hit a lot of shots. These are things that just don't happen in the mere. People want to go and practice and learn and get better. Japan, it's how did you play today? 200 balls. But did you hit them well? 200.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game. It's a totally different markets all over the world.
That's really interesting.
And different use cases within resorts. Some people just want to turn their £1 into £2. Yeah. Some people it's a member amenity. All different use cases. Every single one is different.
Yeah. That's fascinating as well. You never know what you're going to, I suppose.
You don't. You go and think, right, I've got my best ever return on investment pitch deck ready here. And the guy goes, yeah, as long as it pays for itself, I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave my laptop in the bag then. We'll talk about something different. So totally different. And as you get more technology ranges and more indoor centres, the high-end club member expects it. So they go, I was at Wentworth and they've got it. Why have we not got it at Beaverbrook? Why have we not got it at Bearwood Lakes? And
it's funny, I was at Hindhead last Wednesday, and that exactly happened. It was like, well, of course we've got to have an indoor simulator. Like, if you'd asked them before the pandemic, no, have one then.
Yeah.
No, you've got to have one. It's something that the pros driving for. I suppose that's the other thing. How many pros have you got pitch?
So I currently just have one, but that's actually expanding soon, I believe. So I'm going to get my second PGA Pro licensed person in. I think I'm actually going to get a female in as well, because I was touching on it earlier, but the female lesson audience is so big, huge, and hopefully bringing in a female pro to push the JP Morgan corporate, the ladies membership, trying to grow that with Barclays and HSBC as well. And women love to get, they had so much engagement from the local area from the women. And I think just having that female coach will just, it's about feeling comfortable as well. And then feeling comfortable with the female head coach, they'll be more inclined to come, and she would help grow that relationship as well. So yeah, that will be my next chapter. We'll be getting a female coach into the venue, 100%.
It's just reducing another barrier to entry, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I'm trying to get ladies into the game, it's sometimes more comfortable for them to have ladies coaching them or ladies around the place. We see that with our, we have a few female sales reps and very successful and sell to ladies more efficiently than the guys sell to ladies.
Yeah. And are you, because you obviously do you deal majority of the time with golf professionals or owners?
It's owners.
Really?
Yeah, the entry into it seems to be through the pros, because they know Trackman. Mm-hmm. They're more often than not teaching with it, and they've invested their own money in it. They understand how the ecosystem, as our marketing people refer to it as, between the coaching and the custom fitting and the range product all comes together in the app. So the people want an easy life, don't they? And so often using the tech that they're used to is the easy way to go.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's the owners or golf clubs.
Yeah,
more now. Golf, we're seeing quite a big market for smaller golf clubs. If they want to keep the money on the property. I mean, we've got various examples of golf clubs who have saved themselves, for want of a better phrase, through monetizing their driving range through technology.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, it's hard to balance the books at a golf club.
Yeah.
Especially if your golf club is wet.
Yeah.
And it's not a very good golf course.
Glasgow.
Absolutely. Yeah. Doesn't rain every day. Some days it snows.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's just something we've tried to get involved in a little bit, is partnering with real golf clubs with ourselves, and maybe it's part of your membership at the golf club. You have a membership for the pitch as well, so you don't feel as bad then. You're paying that full year membership for the
Yep.
club outdoors. I can only really play there 4 months a year. But actually, if I'm a member there, I also get a membership of pitch. I can utilize going to pitch as well. So something we're looking at is, can we partner with some of these clubs that maybe don't have the capacity to?
I think that's a great
I
idea.
think that's a great idea.
Indoor
Yeah, I think there's be a lot of clubs, a lot of club members would be very interested in that idea, especially as it gets into winter. And how do I continue my golf urge? That I got to have that. I must have a bit of golf.
Yeah.
And the amount of golf club members that will work around here.
Yeah.
There'll be a huge amount on there.
Yeah, you hear that pay some big membership fees.
There will be.
For courses around London. So yeah, something we're exploring currently is whether we can partner in a healthy way for both. It's healthy for the club because the members are now feel they've got an extra perk of the membership of being at that club, and for us as well, it's keeping my bay occupancy as high as possible. Because that for us as a business is I would like to have every bay filled from the moment we open to the moment we close. As a business, that is what I would strive for. So any way we can get to that is good for me.
That's great. Chris's job is to go and now make it global. From a membership perspective, well, if they're traveling, I'm imagining a lot of people here will be traveling. Can they now go to Manchester? Could they go to Melbourne? Could they go to New York? Could they go to LA as a pitch member?
Yeah, it's something we've already got in place. So
Okay.
we already have it in place. If you're a member here at Canary Wharf, you can, at the moment, you can visit Manchester. I believe it's up to 3 times a month.
Okay.
And utilize your membership here at the Manchester venue. I think of the exact same thing in Dublin, but that is, we partner with a company called PaySetter for our members app, which is similar to yourselves, industry leading in terms of what a membership app offers. And in time, as this brand grows, that membership will be you're a global pitch member. And you might be in business in Melbourne. I'll take the clients out to the pitch in Melbourne. I'm a pitch member in Canary Wharf. That is the vision of what the pitch membership should be, and hopefully will be. 100%.
Do you see that also being able to allow staff to go and see different venues so that you can learn from, as we were saying, Japanese have a totally different psyche. So if you've got a Japanese customer who comes in here, oh yeah, I know exactly what they look, because I've been to the Japanese pitch, the Tokyo pitch or whatever it might be. That could be a great opportunity it's all about keeping staff as well. And, to be able to incentivize you to be able to go and see different buildings, different locations, but also different ways of doing things that you can take back and bring back to Canary Wharf, and vice versa. That the people from Tokyo can come here and go, absolutely, Canary Wharf is amazing. Can I bring it back there?
Absolutely. And this Canary Wharf site is our flagship site. This is the biggest pitch in the estate, and this for us is where we bring the investors. So when the Tokyo investors come to London, it comes to the Canary Wharf site. This is how pitch should look and feel. And I think there's loads of value in taking some of my team, myself potentially, out there, and this is how it should look and feel. And hospitality translates. So again, it doesn't matter what the culture is; it's about making someone feel at ease.
100%.
And that is the same in Tokyo, same in Vietnam. It doesn't. It's the same sport, out there. They're watching the same professionals. They're holding the same superstars. So it's all translatable on the global stage, I think.
Yeah. And you don't nuances, isn't there? Sorry, nuances to the different markets.
Oh yeah.
Remember Cambodia? It takes 10 hours to play golf in Cambodia. It's a day out, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But that's just how they do it.
Yeah.
Because one of the things we had was, can we get 10 or 12 players at once? I'm like, why would you ever need that? Well, because that's how we play our golf.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's
same.
Because you could almost turn it into a sit-down dining experience. If rather than want to play around together.
Over 10 hours.
Days, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I played at Vatadak in Phnom Penh, and it was 10 hours.
And you could serve them a breakfast, serve them a lunch, serve them a dinner in between the course, and turn it into almost what you'd have in a restaurant, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, just utilising the base in between your courses of food.
But I guess if you're paying £1,000 for tea time, you want to enjoy it, don't you?
Well, you certainly don't want somebody telling you you're on the clock, do you? That's not a great hospitality experience, is it?
And that psyche has come up, where everybody is about fast play, get around as quickly as possible, for you. But someone just said, Sam Oliver, he's got Condor Club, which would be an interesting addition to the London scene from an indoor perspective. And he said to me, it's like, well, you've worked all week. You've got a Saturday morning. Why didn't you actually enjoy it rather than getting around in 3.5 hours and then rushing off again? Or if you're on holiday, why are you rushing to get around? And I know slow play is the bane of your life. But when we were in Portugal earlier this month, you saw that the golf courses didn't have much rough. And it was a case of you don't lose your ball. So you feel quite good. And you can have as many hits, but it doesn't take you as long if you were looking for balls. So but at the same time, you've got sun on your back and you can take your time. So they've sort of allowed 15-minute, Villamore Roll was 15-minute intervals now, that type of thing. Because it's kind of that psyche. You're on holiday, you don't want to rush. But then the old school, I want to play 36 holes in a day, and I want to play as much golf as I possibly can. So there's
Muirfield.
It's interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's different there, isn't it? If you look at, this business, for example, and driving ranges as well, often charged by time now.
Yeah.
So it's not about how many balls I can hit quickly. It's, you'll get an exponential spend with dwell time. I don't have to tell you about that, but the longer folks spend on the property, the more they'll spend.
Yeah.
And golf courses maybe need to move towards that kind of stuff.
Time you spend.
I don't like taking 6 hours to play if I've got 5 hours to play.
Yeah.
But if I've got a day and it's an adventure and I'm somewhere, then so be it.
Went to the Macquarie.
Yeah.
With Alan Buss. Yeah. Great guy. Really enjoyed his company. And, the first thing he said was that Macquarie is all about relaxation. We only have 8,000, we want 15,000 rounds, but at the moment we've got 8.5. But even when we got to 15,000 rounds, we've still got enough time for you to take your time. Don't worry, it's not about pace and play. It's about coming to rest. Macquarie is it's hard to get there, but when you get there, it's like, relax. And if you want to play a 6-ball, go play it. Not a problem.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the psyche that I'm getting from new golf. It's a bit like, certainly from a holiday golf, it's like, well, I'm paying a lot of money with this, and I want to chill a bit. But I'm used to, can I get 36 holes in a day? No, I couldn't do 36 holes in a day now, so I'm very much more like, 6 hours sounds quite nice. Better time for a nice meal in between and then go out again.
There's definitely a move for the people that are time barred. 9 holes are popular now.
Exactly.
But I'll take my time to play my 9 holes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't control shift. Did that exist many years ago? I would never go out to do 9 holes, but now.
No, you wouldn't. Only if you were squeezing it in after your 36.
Yeah.
And you were doing 9 more when you were a junior. But people are life's just busier, isn't it? People have less free time. So they either want to say, as Neil said, this is my day out, and you're not going to rush me, or I want to do a bit of a smash and grab. I want to come and play 9 holes indoors, or I want to play 9 holes in a par 3 course and get round quickly. There's 2 very different use cases there.
We really capitalise on that. I have a lot of members. So part of our membership is you can come unlimited off peak. And like I said about these lunchtimes, you can see that they've left the office, they've run here, rushed here. They'll squeeze in 30 minutes of golf and then back to the office.
Yeah.
But they're like, I really just want to get some golfing. They're in here, they'll smack balls for half an hour and then it's straight back to them. And that's their break. I think to myself, surely you want to just maybe lie down, sit down for a break maybe. You want to decompress during your break. Like, no, I'm coming here and I just want to squeeze half an hour.
That's applying logic to golf.
There's no place for that.
There's no place for that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a difficult game, isn't it? So people will never master it, no matter how good you get at it. Mm-hmm. And it's addictive. So it's perfect from that perspective.
That addiction I do.
Yeah.
2 last questions, and we ask everybody these. Being interesting to hear from a non-golfer or a very early stage golfer and a very experienced golfer. But the first question is, if you won the golf lottery, you won unlimited amount of money, but you had to spend it on golf, what would it be? Probably come to you, Steven, first. What would it be?
I would try and create a series of venues that made it very easy for people to come and try golf. That would be anchored in technology because of my background, but it would be very hospitality led to make people welcome. I would like anybody who thought I'd like to try golf to be able to go and do it. you would need some scale to that. It'd need to be probably a rollover week on the golf lodge. But I would love everybody to try golf and not force fed it.
Yeah.
Not in the way that some of the governments have said, everybody will try golf.
Yeah.
That doesn't work, does it?
No.
You're better with volunteers than pressed men. So I would, that's what I would do.
Very good.
What it looks like, I'm not sure.
Got a Trackman in there, that's for sure.
It would certainly be orange.
Yeah. And you, Matt, sorry.
I would, since we produce the Trackman, but I think I'd probably buy my dad a Trackman.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be my present to him. My dad's been playing golf for 30-odd years now. I think I won't say his handicap is well embarrassing, but it's not the lowest. It's not as low as maybe it should be. So I think that would be, I'd get him the full Trackman setup for the garage. My mum wouldn't be too pleased, I don't think, but I think that will make him happy.
The beauty of golf, though, is no matter how old you are and how good or bad you are, you still think your best golf's ahead of you, don't you? Like, I still think, if I concentrate, I'll be able to play like I did 30 years ago, no problem. Like, I can, but still think I can.
I did that exactly. Played at Hindhead, first 9 was a bit, and then suddenly I found a rhythm. And I saw my son, who's a good player, he grew up at St Andrews, he's 2 handicap, beam +2, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, you know what, that back 9, I'm 60, and I was like, you know what?
I'm back.
Oh, you never know. But it's so nice to hit that shot, isn't it? You feel like, come off of that back 9. I was last 10 holes, I was a 2 over par. And I'm sitting there with a beer going, really enjoyed that. Good golf course, sun shining. I mean, okay, it's the middle of winter, beginning of the winter.
And you thought,
what a great fan, from a hospitality point of view and from a game, we really enjoyed the company. You can't get any better from that. So, and then the last question, Stephen, you've got 1 round of golf left. Where would it be, and with who?
That's a good question, isn't it? It would almost certainly be at Loch Lomond, because I'm from there and I'm yet to see anywhere as good as that on a sunny day. So I think that's relatively easy. It's not as tough a question as I thought. My dad and my brother.
Okay.
And whoever else.
With us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And both were reasonable golfers. But I would probably win, so that would be good. And to be honest, I could play in a 3 and be just as happy in that. Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
I could add in anybody else, but can't. Unless we went to Cambodia, and then I would take both my boys as well, who play a bit of golf. So I'd either play a 3 or a 5.
There you go.
Depending if Guy Redford lets me play the 3.
Yeah, exactly. Good old guy, absolutely. I'm sure he would. Actually, there's probably nobody playing at 4 o'clock in the afternoon at Loch Lomond, but anyway, you can play as many people as you like playing, so it's fine. All right, it's good. And Matt?
For me, I have to go to my dad again. I think I'd go a bit more mainstream though. Probably take him to the Augusta, probably take to the Masters with my dad. And I think he's a big Justin Rose fan, so I'll get Justin Rose to carry him around. Try and maybe give him a little bit of coaching as well on the way around. Give him a hand, but yeah, that would land. That would land good for him. I would go around as well as maybe I'd be his caddy.
Yeah,
so I'd caddy for him.
Yeah,
and we'd go around with Justin Rose at the Masters. That'd be
not bad. It's not a bad present. Pretty good. This has been really interesting. Thank you for the hospitality. Thank you for your time.
No problem at all.
Great. I think what we're trying to do with Grapes and Greens is very much about lifestyle, and this is 2 great opportunities that brings golf, wine, hospitality, and IT to develop golf and hospitality. So, and then from that, lifestyle. On that note, let's finish with a glass of wine.
Thank you.
Fill that up for you.
It's a nice wine, that, isn't it?
It is. It's very nice. Glasgow, a really very nice wine.
Tell me, some of the French producers are buying land now in Kent and things like that.
Yeah. From Hampshire.
Just because of, I guess,
it's going a bit further north, so they're looking at Essex.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Guys,
To meet you, Matt.
Pleasure.
really enjoyed it. Thank you.